Hello everybody, Sneaky Chiefy here, bringing you a 4v4 game on Steppe. It's going to be a crazy, wild one, as I understand it. Steppe is an interesting setup where players get some houses, but no TCs. They also start with a horse. The top player in this case is BlankSpot. He's playing as the Japanese here in green. On his team is Death Reaper, playing as teal, who immediately started building houses and grabbing sheep, but does not build the town center, so he might not know how to play Steppe. And then also on Team TAW is blue is Bam Bam Stick, and orange is Faresi Gabriel. So, oh, excuse me, no, the last on that team is Captain Del Espacio as the Lithuanians, which is a great choice. So, Asian Death Reaper is the Franks, Lithuanians in gray, orange is the Japanese, and blue there as the Goths. So nice good spread of civs. The enemy, a bunch of randoms, are red, Arcabeto, also the Goths in yellow is NDF, Zvales is the Chinese, and way over here, kind of isolated in fact, now that he built his town center. He built that way deep in there, is the Franks. So exposing his gold and stone. So Steppes is an interesting map. As you can see, there's a lot of wood lines around the edge, but they're not full wood lines. There are lanes through here, so it gets a little tricky to wall. I like building your starting TC kind of back. It makes a lot of sense, especially with this wood line. It basically clears. This is basically a giant wall here, so all you really have to do is wall that and wall this here. These TCs, as you can see, are a bit more exposed out here. That's not a bad spot. But kind of like a Nomad in that the players needed to build their TC. Unlike Nomad, there's 6 starting villagers, I would believe. There's a bit more starting villagers than normal. And generally, the same starting resources besides the yurts, which act as houses. There's berries, there's a boar, or 2, there's a lot of sheep, and there's a lot of hunt in the middle. So Mongols would be a good choice for this because of that hunt. It's a pretty wide open map, so cavalry civs like the Franks and Lithuanians make a lot of sense. Goths I'm not too sure of on this map. Goths are generally a strong unit in lower levels. But wow, look at this mining lumber camp. And the Japanese, a very versatile civ. Could go archers, could go infantry. They have the faster attacking infantry and a full tech tree for archers. They also have the devastating trebuchets. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up just a bit. As you see, barracks going down from BlankSpot. Looks like team walls to a certain extent could be achieved, at least between the pairs of players. The Lithuanian player on this side is kind of caught out. And I think on BlankSpot's team, he's the TAW member, by the way. A lot of these other players on his team are friends of his. Not currently members of TAW, but good friends of BlankSpot in real life, I believe. BlankSpot's mining or lumber camp is a bit exposed there. Yellow doing the house wall thing. Red opting to bury his TC a bit too. It's not a bad idea, but it does expose all this. I mean, this is vital resources out here. Berries, lots of gold and stone. It's tough to retreat your villagers to the town center if you bury your TC. But likewise, you're exposing your wood choppers if you do it how BlankSpot has in green. Purple walling off on his side. Teal starting to build his wall. Dropping his barracks. Red going for the archery range, and now I'm going to go ahead back to normal speed now that we're through the beginning. And red falling off in the back too. It'll be interesting to see what the Chinese player goes for, whether it's archers or they have a pretty good knight line. Although they don't get paladin, but we could see them going knights. So they don't get paladin. Double barracks from Bam Bam Stick as the Goths makes sense. Militia coming out already, so he might be thinking about putting some pressure on early. I also see militia out for red, so let's see what red's up to. If he's moved forward, he's got militia and archer. Here they are, just kind of sitting. Not doing much at the moment as Teal finishes his walls. And some response from Teal with some early militia as well. And red going out even further and milling the deer. This patch of deer that you see. So we got here they go, 3 militia and 3 archers. Wide open line right into Captain's base. And there's no military out yet for Captain, I don't think, so this could be pretty effective. Let's see if he gets a villager or two. It'll be tough to fight against this composition, even though they're just militia. Having the archers to support can go a long way. Oh! They don't have fletching. If they had fletching, I bet that villager goes down. They take out Teal's militia that came to support. Some damage was done to Red's militia thanks to the town center. And what are these men-at-arms from the Japanese player coming all the way across and hitting purple. They'll get a Vil kill here, I think, using the horse to block. Good job, BlankSpot, I like it. Back over here, red found some gold miners. 1 Vil killed. 2 Vils killed. And some defensive militia that won't do very well against those archers. Which is why it's so powerful to have a couple archers in with the militia. Because it stops any kind of defense, as we see here. And archers coming out for Gray to respond. Meanwhile, blue and orange are happily coexisting for now. But Gray is in a tough spot right now. So far, red has not lost any of his military, though one of these militia is weak. And Japanese players still in purple's base. Red causing all sorts of damage here to Gray, who's fighting back with his villagers. Might be his only chance. He does have another militia and some archers in there to help out. And this, I don't know, it might work if he keeps those villagers working, but he'll lose a lot in the meantime. Yeah, he lost a ton of villagers right there, though he does clean up Red's army. Looks like green BlankSpot still looking to cause some damage with these Japanese men-at-arms. And he might get another Vil kill or two here. Looks like it. Great job trapping these villagers. These Japanese infantry, and great job blocking with the horse again. Infantry for the Japanese attack faster. And he's using his scout horse to block any sort of retreat. Great job by purple to use his villagers to attack. Though I count at least 4 kills against purple so far. And let's take a look at the population for each of these players. Purple's at 27. Gray, who got hit really hard by red, is at 19. And it looks like orange is attacking. Ooh, scouts coming in and hitting blue here at home. Blue's at 22. Orange is at 38 pop, the top on his side. Red's at 34, the top of his. Blue doing a good job retreating for now. So there's a combination of orange militia and orange scouts right in his base. He does have men-at-arms of his own, the Goth player, blue. So he'll try to defend, but that damage is done. Chinese player just hit Castle Age. And it's tricky watching a 4v4. I'm used to the 1v1s, they're much simpler to cast. So these Goth men-at-arms will fight off the attack for now, it looks like. That is a scary force. But the raid has caused a lot of idle time, that's for sure. Yeah, keep an eye on this matchup. The Franks and Goths here on right next to each other is going to be interesting. And then on this side, the Ethiopians will probably be going archers. Although he does have men-at-arms out, which is interesting. Against the... Yeah, this is interesting too. An archer civ in the Ethiopians against the cavalry civ of the Lithuanians. Purple's horse is trapped back here, it looks like. Yep. Interesting. Oh, looks like blue will find a lone villager. They don't have loom, it doesn't look like.
Hey.
Nope, no loom yet. That's unfortunate for the Frank player. And blue will look to try to house wall up. That's going to be an expensive wall. A lot of gaps in between there, so he'll fill it in with palisades. And a castle going down by NDF as the Goths. So he's been undisturbed so far. He walled up. He hit Castle Age. We see 3 of the enemy in Castle Age right now, and only 1 Japanese player and BlankSpot is on the way to Castle Age. And then the Goth player will be looking to do the Goth spam. He doesn't have very strong food eco right now, though. Let me see, 9 farms. A really tight base in yellow. And orange, again, he's... What's this? Oh, Japanese archers in the back. I like it. Orange has, like, walled himself in here around his farms, but he has no access to gold, so that might screw him over in the end there. And a trade cart is out already. Interesting. Japanese player, the anchor of Team TAW, is dropping down 2 more town centers. Purple is dropping his 3rd town center as well. And these Japanese archers are still continuing to keep the Frank player, orange, off of wood. You see a little skirmish here as NDF takes out a scout, it looks like. And BlankSpot sending even more archers out, combined with some Goth infantry. Spearmen and men-at-arms. So orange is going to be in a hard spot. On this other side, Lithuanian men-at-arms and skirmishers. Lithuanians do have good skirmishers, they move quickly. Against the Ethiopian player who still only on 1 TC. Doesn't have too many archers out on the field yet, though I do expect him to go archers. And Death Reaper's got the trade carts moving in feudal age. Okay, so Chinese players made some camels. That won't be very helpful against crossbowmen and spearmen. But that's not a lot of spearmen, so they might clean that up. Looks like the Japanese player is going full archer build. As these archer crossbowmen are... Nope, okay, they didn't clean... The camels didn't quite clean up. These archers are upgraded. And here comes Goths with crossbowmen of his own and skirmishers of his own. Interesting that the Goth players were going archers. Very strange. But at this point, the Frank player is way behind. And the Chinese now sending out knights, a much better unit against these crossbowmen. And these knights do have the defensive upgrades, but there's not a lot of them. And the Japanese crossbowmen are fully upgraded at this point. Goth player escapes, keeps the Orange player on the defensive. Purple's putting out knights. Gray is on 3 TCs now, which is fantastic. I'll take a look at Gray's population is 29. Purple's is only 19 though. Yikes. Frank player Orange is only at 17. Though red and purple are both at 44. And well, green is at 61 and teal is at 48. Very impressive. And I love that blue is taking basically Orange's gold because Orange built his TC so far back, as I've said a couple times already, and Orange just hits Castle Age. He's left his gold wide open for Blue to take. Blue's not even mining his own gold. He's mining the enemy's gold first, which is a great decision. I'd love to see Blue's villager numbers climb though. He needs more farms out. Yeah, there he goes. Building farms now. And one Chinese knight is picking off reinforcements and killing trade carts, so definitely not ideal. And looks like since Red's initial push, he's just sitting back. He's unconcerned. Not interested in pushing on teal or purple. I should say, sorry, gray at the moment. Gray does have quite a few, what are these? Still men-at-arms, but quite a few elite skirmishers ready for the archers that are bound to come. And there are some forward villagers coming forward for red. Red may be thinking of a castle or something. Oh no, sorry, these are yellows. Yeah, the Goth player going for Fort Castle. And red's got some crossbowmen here too. This might get denied. Those crossbowmen will make short work of the men-at-arms, but those elite skirmishers should chase off this crossbowman. Only 4 villagers there. This castle should get denied. I don't know what he was thinking. Keep an eye on this. There's other things happening over at Orange's base. 1 vill's down. 2 vill's down. Gray's doing the right thing by focusing on the villagers and leaving the red army for now. It's unfortunate because he's losing, and it looks like he might have called for help because teal is sending in some reinforcements. Still 1 villager building. Castle's at 70%. Villager runs away. Oh man, this is like in-your-face castle too. This is like that villager is still alive somehow. I can't believe it. Red has kept him alive. This castle may actually go up. That would be really unfortunate. Chinese player is in on blue. Blue's got some spearmen in response. But orange is all but out of the game at this point with the mangonel on his TC. Even with this castle going up, which it looks like it will, which is unbelievable to me. Gray is isolated, so it makes sense that reinforcements. And another castle, so poor Gray. Poor Gray and poor Orange, the 2 players that are isolated from their team. I don't know where Orange is going to go with these. Blue is not all that good off at the moment either. Yeah, these guys are trapped. I guess they could escape out this way. Green will find that. Luckily for Gray, he's got 2 more town centers back here, which is fantastic. And he's going for archery ranges. Never what you want as a Lithuanian player, but it might be the right call against all these crossbowmen. Chinese players sticking with the knights and doing work with them. Japanese player dropping a defensive castle to help blue out while he takes out Orange's main town center. And it looked like green cleared up most of Orange's villagers, though there are some left alive here. 5 more left alive. I don't know where that mangonel went. It might have. Oh, did it retreat? No, I think it might have retreated or got killed by that knight, probably. Teal's sending some support, putting a castle of his own in the 2nd town center. Blue still in feudal, but green on the way up to Imperial Age, as is purple. So it's shaping up to be purple versus green at this point. Red's no slouch though. Red's been booming undisturbed, though his advance has been kind of slow. And I like to see this castle from the Lithuanian player too. That should stop any kind of pressure from all this infantry. And the Frank player is basically out of the game. It's unfortunate that these 4 weren't found out, or he'd be dead already. Oh no, get this castle up, please. Lauderdale's going down for Gray, but he will get this castle up. And that should kill off the army. But the Goths player moving in now. Dropping a town center. With help from Red. Goths player booming in the corner here too. And finally some Huskarls from him. I was wondering when that was going to happen. How is this town center still alive? That Megano must have been sniped by yet another knight. It's so close, it's 74. Gray baiting the long swordsman into the range of the castle, which is fantastic. Red's gonna wish he was paying attention to that one, I think. And we have some teal knights here from the Franks player, which is fantastic to see. 2 castles from the Franks and 3 town centers. Just like the Goths on the other side, he's booming away. But the Ethiopian player continuing to find stray buildings and kind of chipping away at the space that Gray has to survive. BlankSpot going Arbalasters as the Japanese. Trade cart still running for Death Reaper. Alright, we have 7 Latus on the field. And a bunch of knights. They won't be able to do anything about these 2 castles, but maybe they'll catch out the army. Unfortunately, I think this stronghold, or foothold that NDF has in Gray's base is permanent for the time being. And the Frank player repairing his TC. Ah, that's such a shame that he's still in this game, as he's making new villagers out of it. But the Arbalasters finding their way in. I wonder how they got in. Yeah, they just walked through here. So this is good. He's going to hit the Chinese player hard as BlankSpot. Emergency tower going down. Oh, nice dodge. Villagers going down as the tower is full. Arbalaster needs to watch out for the tower and watch out for Mangonels. I'm going to keep over here because it looks like everything else is quiet for the time being. And green finding all sorts of kills against purple right now. Microing well with those archers. Here comes the Chinese knights, but here comes capped rams too, which is perfect against these TCs. No castle for the Chinese player. And these knights will do nothing against this many Arbalasters. Fully upgraded, I bet. Just missing chemistry. There go the knights. The knights against the rams, on the other hand. Oh, as a militia takes out this ram. Frank TC still alive, still making units. Battering rams against skirmishers, not ideal. Luckily they're only battering rams. They decided to run away from the castle. Chinese player is in danger here, but he's using his knights to good effect. And here come the Goths. This is the tricky part for the Chinese player who's advancing, or Japanese player who's depending on our blasters. Huskarls are obviously very strong against archers. Another TC with under 10 health, or just about. Luckily these aren't fully upgraded. They only have the 1 armor. Only have +1 armor and they're not elite yet. But they're still really effective against ARBs. As we can see. Can't believe it's 2 TCs that almost went down but didn't quite. And the Japanese army's gonna get cleaned up, or almost cleaned up there. Meanwhile, this just slow push, both armies kind of waiting each other out. Battering rams are going to push forward. There are lettuce in here though. That's going to be what takes these rams out. Unless these pikemen, I think these are pikemen in here. No, okay, they're only Shotel warriors. Let's take a look at how this battle unfolds. There's the latest. Latest are good against infantry. The rams do get a few hits in on the castle, but that'll be the end of this push because these pikemen weren't in on that push. These latest need to watch out for the pikemen. But the rams are dead now, so the castle should be safe and the latest can retreat. Latest should retreat. Well, the push was stalled, but Gray lost his army. Death Reaper will lose his army. Kind of a trade there. Defender's advantage for sure. And the latest prevail. I like it. Okay. There's more where that came from though, unfortunately. Purple's expanding through the middle and getting all these stone. Wow, amazing. It's gonna put some castles down, I hope. And here's the Frankish Knights who joined in the fight on this side. That's what's going to be good against the Goths, for sure. Goths just have skirmishers. So this TC will stay up again somehow, which is amazing. And now we see Elite Samurai coming in. Love this unit. Obviously great against the Goths. That's the Japanese response. And Blue has stabilized a bit. Blue's now got 44 villagers. But no castle of his own. He's putting his first castle down. So that hopefully we'll see some Goths from him as well. But Gray and Orange continue to be cornered. Still alive, but cornered. Archery ranges from the Frank player in the corner. Not ideal. Is this another Frank? Oh, this is where those vills went? Did they really come all the way around through here? Amazing. To settle on a town center behind enemy lines. Green does not see this. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, he sees... I don't know if he might see those farms. Or if that's just capture age. Very interesting. Okay, he's sending some villagers back here. Let's see what happens. Okay, he does see it and he's building walls. I don't imagine why else we'd build that wall there. Great presence of mind as the castle is denied. This was the first Chinese castle. Gets denied there by the Samurai, which is such a strong unit, and now the Japanese trebuchets are going to do work. Faster packing and firing. So effective. And mixing a few Arbalasters as well. But all the attention from the enemy is on Gray, which I think is okay, because he's just kind of holding on. And if all this, could you imagine all this army and resources here from the enemy, if that was down to save Purple right now? Because Purple is just uncontested. They're like not contesting this. Say Green is uncontested as he pushes in on Purple. And that's quite a scary amount of Frankish Paladins, no doubt about it. Goths player retreating has no choice. I mean, this is useless against... But you spend all this time massing your army up here, and now you're marching them down south and not being used. I worry for Gray, though. A lot of red army. Trebuchets is taking down his castle, which is the only thing keeping alive. It's a shame these paladins aren't being used right now, but that's fully upgraded halberdiers. Okay, he's going for the castles instead, which is nice. Another castle denied. All that stone mined by Purple and he never put a castle down. So Purple's basically cleaned up now. And I'm glad we finally seen a TC go down for the enemy. And this castle may go down. Here come the Halbs. Good job, Death Reaper, retreating with those paladins. Very expensive unit. You can't take that fight. He will take it, unfortunately. He wants to protect the Trebs. Here's some Goth support with blue, which is nice. And the Goth's coming down now to take on the Japanese army. But the Samurai will eat the Huskarls for breakfast, for sure. Okay, Ethiopian castle is down. Paladin's still running amok. Ethiopians are spamming. Halberdiers. Goths are in Grey's eco. Fully in Grey's eco as the Treb takes out town centers. Grey is basically out of this game. It's a shame. Teal is coming, doing everything he can to support. Likewise, all the town centers for purple are dead or dying. I knew this would be a crazy game, and it was. It was and is. The Halbs are always going to be a good trade against the Paladins, though. And that means these Trebs will go down before taking this Goth castle down, I imagine. Up 2, 3 more Trebs. I don't know, maybe this castle will go down, in fact. Not a lot of army, but that's a lot of trebuchets. Yeah, I think this castle will go down, in fact. But that's a lot of enemy army that can now move into Teal's area. Now that Grey is dead, but then on the other side, Green is done with purple and now is pushing into green space. Though Green is very spread out, all the way in the corners and then up north where Grey was. And not much to say of purple, he's got, or orange, so he is raiding now with knights. So he is still alive and back in the game. It's just going to be really annoying. See what he can do. He'll be looking to cause some damage to Green if he's smart. But Green's ready with some halberdiers of his own, which is good. And one thing that Team TAW is doing is they've walled off all this area here, which is fantastic. Look at these palisades and houses. So that there's the trade line, and I see more trade carts coming out from Team TAW. There's no trade for the enemy. And first TC for the Goth players down, more Japanese Trebs coming forward. Japanese champions. BlankSpot detected a champion, Arbalaster, and Elite Samurai. He's detected to almost every single military branch that you can, except for knights. Yeah, but Teal is going to be feeling the pressure here as Red pushes in with his own Arbalasters and two-handed swordsmen. Grey, that's Teal. Grey is basically done. Basically out of the game. I don't think he's got any villagers. Here's something. Yeah, he's got one trade cart. Okay, no, he's got some bills up here. He's got 8 villagers. 19 somewhere, 20 somewhere, but... Oh, here we go. Here's his town center. So he did escape. Still a bit exposed, though. These Goths cavalry archers? I don't think I've ever seen Goth cavalry archers before. So now it's really just Red and some Goths pushing in on... It's really Red spamming forward. Purple does have this TC, so not out of it. People just are not quitting. Orange isn't quitting. As he moves his villas over this way for some reason. Orange is not quitting. Yellow is not quitting. Purple's not quitting. Gray isn't quitting. They've all been displaced. Easy Death Reaper is getting hit hard from Red right now, though. BlankSpot can't be everywhere at the same time. I think he's doing the right thing by continuing to focus. Nice, okay, we got some Goth battering rams here. Now he's moving. Now red's moving on, or I should say, green is moving to red as he continues his pressure counterclockwise around the map. Starting with orange into purple, hit green a bit, though he doesn't have time to go all the way to the corner. Now continuing the cycle onto red's face with these Japanese trebuchets, just so fast. They fire so quickly. It's incredible. Red, meanwhile, is focused on the front. Manganel is getting some shots out. Okay, taking out some archers. Treb's taking out the castle. Green is sending his own archers now to support, which is fantastic because there's no Goths here. It's Japanese archers, Arbs versus Ethiopian Arbs and Halbs. And the support of the castle, which will stay up for a while because it's only one Treb. Meanwhile, red, oh no! Red's got quite a lot of army to defend. And these Japanese Trebs, while fast, will probably go down. But that did hurt him a bit. Took out one of his 4 TCs. Oh, look at this. Orange sent those villas forward to build a forward castle, displacing one of blue's town centers. And I think this was a Japanese response castle here. So now the Japanese player needing to deal with Frankish raids because he didn't take out this town center when he had the chance. I mean, obviously he didn't know. I mean, he knew that it was close to dead. He didn't know those villagers were alive in the corner. So much to deal with. Look at all these blinking lights. Alright, this one castle from Teal went down, but this Treb will go down. The push on the front is dead completely because red had to focus on his defending at home. Orange, though, being super annoying, he will lose this castle now that there's a Treb out there. And these villagers, after building the castle, move back up. And these knights raiding to good effect. BlankSpot's got a lot to worry about. Chinese castle was dropped at some point. Sorry I missed it, folks. And this is annoying because it's kind of in the military reinforcement line of sight. These Arbs still doing work somehow. I think now they're only just now getting cleaned up. Incredible. But now they're pushing in from the front. What is this? Goth castle and another Japanese castle. So definitely sealing the front. They want to finish this wall so they can have a good trade line between teal and blue, and this castle going down. So now, I don't know, if you're BlankSpot, you probably push hard on red. Orange was annoying, but not nearly the same threat as red. And then now we see Goth siege coming, battering rams and onagers, and Japanese Trebs taking out this Chinese castle. Chinese having still alive and in the corner with 2 TCs. Goths rebooming with their cavalry archers. Oh man, no one quitting right now. This game could go on. What a wild one, for sure. Alright, Paladins will do work against the Ethiopians, that's for sure. Frank champions and Paladins together. That's the thing about nomad games like Steppe. There's a lot of resources out there, so players can stick around and migrate as the Lithuanians player back in it. Lithuanians player at 26 pop, purple at 23, orange at 29. Definitely advantage for Team TAW at this point, as green has 130, blue has 70. Oh, sorry. These are villagers at the top. I was reading our military. I know, green still has 66 villagers. Yeah, it's yellow still has 66 villagers. Green lost a lot of his villas and still losing his villas. BlankSpot, what are you doing, buddy? You didn't know these were going on? Oh no. I was like, he's got 143 military and only 50 villagers. Incredible how many he's lost, and continues to lose them as he doesn't notice this raid. His focus on the front, I mean, understandably so. How are there still Goths around? Incredible. What a messy game. Okay, Red's calling it. The backbone of the enemy saying GG. BlankSpot thanking his lucky stars. As he's got population, but it's all in military. He might even be okay. I think BlankSpot is like, okay, kill my vills. I need more. I have enough resources anyway. I can build more military that way. So funny. Alright, there's the starting TC from Orange goes down. Of course, Orange will be the last one to quit, even though he was the first one out of the game. Green letting him know that he's not pleased with the fact that they haven't quit yet. Chinese player has quit even though he boomed back in the corner. Now it's really just yellow and orange. Orange is like, well, he doesn't know I'm here. Let's see. I mean, he's got to know. He's got to see these woods getting chopped down. And he knew that there was something back here when he built that wall. Orange finally makes it to Imperial Age. I'm sorry if I'm coming off as kind of insulting, but this has been a wild game. There's been some choices that I didn't expect. The Cavs archers from the Goth player, for example, +2/+1, no less. So he teched into archer tech as the Goths. Just not what you'd expect. It's not meta. We'll say that. It's not meta. I like to see the Goth siege too. That's quite funny. And credit to Gray for holding out as long as he did. Like, he kept a lot of the pressure of the enemy on up north, which allowed BlankSpot to kind of, not completely uncontested, but really do damage through purple and green and eventually into red.
Wait?
Who's still in this? Yellow and orange are still in this. I mean, it's only a matter of time. All these paladins could rush in and just clobber either player. I mean, I don't know what yellow is thinking. Like, maybe if they don't notice me for long enough, I can get a good army going. But it's 4-on-2 at this point, so. Here comes the Japanese player to finish the job. Goth champions love it. Moving in on the other Goth players. TC. Look at all this siege. Cav archers will do well against these champions though. These onagers on the other hand are a different story. Let's see it. Let's see the big shots. Oh! Oh, there's an okay shot. Not huge, but okay. Come on, get some big ones. There it is. Boom, boom. Emergency castle going down for the Goth player. It won't stay up. If it goes down, it won't stay up for long. Shreds are still working back here. The Rams are moving. CA is going down. Split micro. Oh, there's a big one. Oh, run away, run away. And that's all she wrote for the cavalry archers. Champions moving forward, denying this castle. Onagers will take out barracks. Okay, there's some. Here comes the Japanese skirmishers. Won't do much against the Huskarls, but there are some samurai, elite samurai in there. These are still just regular Huskarls, so they do have castle age upgrades. They're not the elite type. And orange has been found out now. Oh, that castle did go up. It didn't stay up though. Super stubborn. I think they'll leave orange for now and focus on yellow. Orange still making scouts and sending them into purple's base. Too funny. Teal just attacking red for good measure. Making sure to wipe him off the face of the earth. I mean, it's not a... You want to explore back here and make sure somebody's not booming, because he is back here, in essence. Let's take a look. They see all this map. They see where green is back in this black area. They haven't explored that area yet, so they're like, where the hell? Where do we need to send our units? There's so much green scattered around everywhere. Blue has a huge army wondering what to do with them. This Treb sees it all. It's only a matter of time, though he did open up his eco to more raids. Just a few halbs should do the trick. 8 halbs and 1 trebuchet will be the last of the orange town centers. Finally goes down. Let's see if orange finally quits. Hey, how stubborn do you have to be? Come on, people. Pretty stubborn, apparently. One more production building, 2 more production buildings. Well, no, there's this town center. Oh no, that's the Japanese one. Okay, good. I thought that was Frank's for some reason, which is foolish, because 1 more stable, 2 more stables. Trebs and Samurai in the corner. Man, these guys won't quit. Like cockroaches. Here come the Frank Paladins. Everybody's in the corners. That stable's down. Orange has these villas here alive too. There he goes. Orange quits. He's had enough. And there's the final GG. No GGs from orange and yellow, I see. But a very interesting game. I saw it all. I saw elite samurai. I saw cavalry archers. I've seen skirmishers galore. Elite huskarls, onagers, battering rams, paladins, arbalasters. Plenty of arbalasters. I even saw some Shotel warriors. I saw 1 Chinese castle, but we did not see the Chinese special unit, the Chukanu. I saw some trade carts in feudal age. A wild, wild game, to say the least. Gray hung in there, stuck around, dropped his castle back, was rebooming, was not out, down but not out. What a wild game. Oh, yeah, and then yellow had this TC back here. Wow. Wow. Well, I thought it was entertaining. I hope you did too. What a messy Steppe game that turned out to be. This was Sneaky Chiefy casting TAW Member BlankSpot and his buddies 4v4 game on Steppe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.